Marjorie Taylor Greene and probably anybody else that's cozied up to the Trump administration bought the dip. And as much as I would like to say that's a euphemism for death, it is in fact not. It is about purchasing stocks at low prices because, as it turns out, they are stealing the dogs, they are stealing the cats, and they are not immigrants, they are elected officials. The TLDR of it all is that Marjorie Taylor Greene, along with a bunch of other despicable humans, saw an opportunity when the stock market plummeted after Donald Trump announced that he would impose tariffs globally. Now everybody else was nervous, scared, anxious, and afraid, concerned about the volatility of the stock market, but not these people. And that's because somehow they magically knew that Trump would unpause those tariffs and the stock market would soar along with their profits. But Casey, isn't that insider trading, you ask? Are there rules anymore? I don't. Walk with me. The time, a week ago. We were in deep with Signalgate, Trump was imposing tariffs, and the stock market looked like a roller coaster took a death drop off of the tallest building in Dubai. And while everyone was scrambling, the stock market was volatile, people's financial futures uncertain. Marjorie Taylor Greene was like, hey, it seems like a great time to buy a lot of stock. Like Amazon, Apple, Nike, Lululemon, UPS. Members of Congress are legally required to disclose their stock purchases, so you can go online and see that Marjorie Taylor Greene bought from Berkshire Hathaway and JP Morgan, among many others. Marjorie did what is known to those in the industry as buying the dip. If you want to read more about it, there's a great article by Motley Fool. It basically means that you purchase stocks after a price drop in hopes that you can get discounted rates and that those prices will eventually rise again. And they give you an example of the Vanguard stock, and you look at the bottom of the V right there, that's when you want to buy, when the stock is at its lowest, banking on, hopefully, that stock again rising over time. Now, the key here and the difficult part is, how do you predict the timing? How do you know when the stock's going to hit that V, that low point in price, without, like, say, a crystal ball to know the future or a president in your back pocket? And we all know that Marjorie Taylor Greene has been training her entire life to be Donald Trump's biggest groupie. If this woman could crawl up inside his ass, I know she would. Wish I could unsee that now. I could say so much more, but I'm not allowed. So the night before Trump unpauses tariffs, he speaks at a Republican Congressional Fundraising Committee meeting thing, gala, dinner, I don't know. He speaks to people and he says, I know what I'm doing about the tariffs, about the economy, about the stock market. He knows. I'm sure a lot of backdoor discussions were had that evening with important Republican officials. And I'm sure a lot of conversations about the stock market happened too. See what I did there? The morning before Trump pauses the tariffs, he logs onto Truth Social and he tells all of his minions, today is a great day to buy. And then hours later, he pauses the tariffs. And then suddenly we see record gains in the stock market. The Dow jumps 3,000 points. NASDAQ surpasses its own record of largest daily gains. Apple has its best day since 1998. And somehow this woman knew all of that was going to happen. What a miracle. Because when everyone else was stressed the hell out about the plummeting of the stock market, Marjorie Taylor Greene called them whiners and losers and ran to the internet and bought a whole bunch of stocks using some of the $41 million she has amassed as a congresswoman from Georgia. That feels above board. This lady right here. I had to know it, you did too. Because the only way to be sure that this would happen is to know when this would happen. Like, I don't know, if you got some kind of tip off. And again, you say, Casey, isn't this insider trading? And again, I respond, I don't know. Do we have any rules on this timeline? Yes, I guess. Does anybody care? No, it turns out Senator Adam Schiff from California does, because he's called for an investigation into potential insider trading by the Trump administration. And I'm not sure who will be investigating that, if there's anyone left to do the investigating, but I think this is a great idea, and I would like to include all members of Congress who bought or sold stocks in the last month. Ever. Why are they buying and selling stocks? I did a whole video on that. You can scroll back. Trump, for his part, is not concerned about this because he's called Senator Schiff a watermelon head this week, because as the entire stock market crashes, Donald Trump is more worried about offending a senator. He said, how could that big fat face stand on a neck that looks like his finger? And I think that's a bold claim from someone who looks like a Fanta-infused thumb. Really had to reel myself in on that one. There are a lot of things that I don't know on this earth and this timeline, but one of the things I do know is that this woman does not just intuitively understand our stock market. Of all the things that didn't happen, that didn't happen the most. My blood pressure has spiked like the Dow Jones today. Anyway, how was your day? Did you make millions of dollars in the stock market like her?